What's going on, y'all? So I made something for my little sisters. I want to definitely make something for my little brothers for sure, for sure. I've been, complicit in doing a lot of these things I'm gonna speak on. So I'm the perfect, unbiased person to, speak on it. But definitely a lot of ways I think we've been taught to be as young boys, that's going to be men eventually, towards females, and how to, basically we using them in certain ways and situations, and it's both hands. The female is using the man as well. For money, and that's a different thing we have to speak about. But this is our sisters and our mothers. You might not see it that way, but it is that way. This is our daughters. You know what I'm saying? This is our cousins. You know what I'm saying? Any female that you claim to love. So us not having certain things in mind and just viewing females for sex and sexual pleasure is is crazy. You know what I mean? But we taught to be this way as men. We've been, and I wasn't that way at first. So I can unbiasedly and honestly speak, and I didn't care about the ass on a female. And it's really stupid as hell for any man to really, care about an ass, and make your determination on the type of female you're going to choose in your life for an ass. That's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? I never, was that. Now, do I prefer one? Yes, but do I think I was trained to be that way? Again, yes. And do I believe it's stupid? Again, yes. Dr. Lala Africa is the one who pointed this out to me. He was like, man, if you looking at every ass that walk past you, and most of us been trained to be this way. We weren't in this way at first. We was literally programmed by our other elders and by the TV and other things. We was programmed to be this way. We wasn't this way naturally. You go back and look. If I go back and look, the first crushes I believe I remember having is like T-Boz and Brandy, two girls who definitely I don't think, are never displayed they figure, which is, and probably surrounding music and stuff like that is what probably linked me there. But when I was young, I didn't, you wanted to find a girl to fall in love with. Like, you wanted the girl of your dreams. But especially in the communities like I come from, it's just you trained at a certain age to view females differently. It's the cool thing to do. It's the cool way to be for the most part. Now, do some men, stay the stride? Yes. A small percentage that do it by choice. It's a very small percentage that do it by choice. Do some men do it? Yes, for sure. But it's some of them don't have a choice. I'm sorry to laugh because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I've been there at times with some droughts, and you know what I'm saying. But that's good, and that's what I'm trying to actually express and show. That's actually good. You know what I'm saying? If I could have held on to my sexual energy and took my sexual energy a lot more serious and really understood, what I was doing, I would have did things a lot differently, and I still have a lot of room to grow. And, I'm definitely going to start disciplining myself and other things like that. But, I'm not like bad because I'm a family man, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just talking about as far as when you really understand how important that stuff is. and how, like, literally some of y'all got superhuman powers, I'm telling you, and I'm not joking with you. Well, what would be considered superhuman powers, but it's really not. It's a lot of our DNA went dormant because we overly out here and just, utilizing that stuff, even if we met, self-pleasure. Let me say it like that, self-pleasure. You still will, that's a part of you, an important part of you. So the female that you choose to share that with is very important. You going into a universe. I made a podcast. Actually, we got podcasts talking about this. That's why I got to get in my backups and just go through a lot of stuff. But I do remember just talking about this. Like, you're going into a universe. You know what I'm saying? And it just is what it. And the funny thing is, I just opened my children's mother book, and they was talking about that. That's why I said I do want to read this book. Point blank period. And a lot of stuff, with me come from just intuition and just how I view the world and view us. But yes, that is very important to do. Like, so withholding it, it's important for us to do sometimes, definitely. I know it do become a little harder when you in relationships and stuff like that. But that's why we still have to set stuff up and practice discipline. And this is one thing I'm starting to do, is focus more on myself, because you have to focus on yourself first. And I'm going to say this, I don't care if you're in the family or not. So you can't lose your way. You know what I'm saying? You can't focus on your children if you lose your way. How can you, that you can't do that properly. So you definitely have to focus on yourself. And point blank period, like this is definitely not going to be advice on the type of females, even though I can say this, the type of females is going to play a certain role in a certain part, point blank period. But I didn't master this. That's what I'm saying. I'm still like dealing with it, because I did make decisions and strategic decisions, and they turned out to be, because you can go after a certain thing, and that certain thing could want to be a certain other thing. You know what I'm saying? So this is why it's healthy to have these conversations with men and females. That's why I did one for the females. But I think it's important to do one for the men. And one of the things I touched on is that partying girls and running trains on girls. Again, I remind you that this is our sisters, our aunts, our cousins, everything else. Plus, it really is disgusting. Like I said, I've become complicit with it because of programming, because of training, trying to just get my boys some and stuff like that. And I had homies that would try to get me some. It always failed, though. But later in life, I have been complicit with, that kind of stuff. And it's not malice. That's why I told, we know this. Like, we not always consciously thinking like she ain't shit, this, that, and the third, but we are consciously saying this girl ain't got enough standards that she will let both of us penetrate her, and we ain't got enough common sense, and we kind of fucking nasty for doing this, you know what I'm saying? Even though me, I ain't never did it in the nasty ways like you would see like on them Jones and shit, but for the most part, it always still been private, you know what I'm saying? Like, it never really was, for the most part, it was still private, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't into all that crazy stuff they be doing and stuff. Like I said, I felt uncomfortable from the beginning of doing it. And just in situations, it would be separate, but we still doing that to a female. And it's not cool. Like I said, that could be your sister, that could be your mom, and I want you to remember that when you're in these situations. I get what it's like. I've been there, but remember that we're being programmed, and you should have more. Not only should she have more respect for herself, but we should have more respect for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And it just is what it is. Cause you're going to be a father one day. And God forbid, son, because I had this is what was a wake up call for me. My daughter was a wake up call for me. She made me change a lot of my life, even my music and stuff like that. And I got songs. This is why I say I'm unbiasedly like if you hear my songs, you like, oh, he been through some stuff, like. And you know what I mean? It just is what it is. I gotta keep it real though. It ain't cool, man. When you look back at it, this is one of the I would say regrets I had. You know what I'm saying? I guess I do got certain regrets. You know what I'm saying? And it would be just a falling into the trap and the programming of doing things like this, because we really trained to a lot of different ways for self-sabotage. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would want to be, betrayed and stuff like that. And or used is the word. Nobody would want to be used. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta stop using the females for just sexual pleasure and not seeing what that's really. Yes, it is pleasurable, but there's a way bigger that's literally magic in the purest form. That's literally the best magic that humans can create right there. So when you do that, that's a serious thing you're doing, a serious spiritual thing you're doing. You're creating, you're turning two into one. That's why I say this is the true marriage. This is why I feel, and I look at it like maybe it's a complex, I could be wrong, but I really feel like that is the most divine, like, thing from the creator. A lot of people try to have children and they can't have children. You know what I'm saying? And then, certain things happen with certain people. You know what I mean? And you don't always have to stay in there, brother. I'm telling you. And I'm telling you because I didn't always stay in there, and it used to happen. You know what I'm saying? So when that child wanna come, it's gonna come. So yeah, definitely. I would definitely choose the females you even entering in the first place. Because every female that you enter, I would have the thought in mind that this could be my children's mother. In that I am entering her universe. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting my universe into her universe, and I'm combining our universe. So yes, it's very important for that girl not to be messing with other men. Because think about this now, if other men are putting their universe in her universe and they confusing this girl, because now it's different entities inside of her, literally inside of her universe, her world. This is how demons start being created in the first place, like real demons and spirits. We gonna break it down, brother. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get on a longer John, but when you literally have that happening and you really look at things in that way, not just for pleasure. Yes, it's pleasurable, but this thing is way deeper than pleasure, and it's pleasurable because they want you to do this. They want you to procreate. They want you to be fruitful, for sure, because that's how humans exist. That's the creation of life of us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Unless you can show me otherwise, that's the way we bring human beings into existence, and we keep our population strong. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. That's a very important thing that we take for granted, and we definitely don't really see the importance of it. And this is something I learned late in life. Like, I've been chilling. I've been really a family man. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been perfect, but I really made big changes and became a different human being, especially over the last couple years. You know what I'm saying? But I've been going through different stuff, and that's the other important thing you to understand, that even if you were a female, you better think about, if this female going to stand strong if something happened to me. And even to the females, I would tell them the same thing of picking a man. Would this man stand strong if something was to happen to me? You know what I'm saying? You can't just look at them now. And that's why I say don't pick a female over that ass. That ass, that's one of a lot of joints that don't stay around. You know what I'm saying? It don't stay around at all. You know what I'm saying? Period. You know what I'm saying? A lot of females get fat. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. A lot of men do too, but you gotta take these things in consideration. Now, are you gonna love that girl when she get pregnant and that weight might not come off of her? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that happens a lot. Like they can go through a lot of different changes. Are you gonna stand by him? You know what I'm saying? And you have to think, is this girl gonna stand by you if something happened to you? If you the money man, if you the working man, if you the fits it man, and or all of this, if that can't happen one day, what's gonna happen then? You know what I'm saying? Or is you going to just, what's going to happen then? That's the primary question you have to ask yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it goes both ways, man. For sure. I definitely got to put that in the girls one too, man, because I'm doing this for my daughter too. Like, bro, you might have a daughter soon, and you gonna definitely look at the world and females differently, for sure. You know what I'm saying? It might take us, it's gonna take some adjustment, definitely the way we've been programmed. Like, I know, trust me. And like Dr. Lala Africa said, if you looking at every ass that go past you, that is a sickness, brother. I did apply that a long time ago. Like, nah, brother, that you have to agree that become a sickness. And like, that shit probably stink. How many asses you looked at that probably, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody because of their circumstances, but had something crazy or, just was like, that is the wrong, like, way to, like, train your mind in the first place. You want to hear what come out of a motherfucker soul first for you start making these decisions. And I think we're going to wrap it up. We're going to probably definitely have to do a part 2. Like, I'm going to definitely have to do a part 2 for the females. But this is something that has to be, talked about. I'm Raphael Rashim, and this is the True I Speak podcast. I'm out of here.